Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Painted in Color podcast. I'm co-host Lauren Brown, joined by co-host Mia Araujo and Eric Wilkerson. And today we are at the end of the year of the fifth year of the Painted in Color podcast. Yay! It's been 5 years. Now, I know this year we didn't record that many episodes just because all three of us have been exceptionally busy. However, we want to talk about all the amazing things that we have done this year, the ups and downs, and just the adventures that we have had because it has been quite a year. So, we're going to get into it in just a moment. I feel like I've been traveling like way too much, which like I like travel. But I'm very ready to just be home with my cats and like not not do this anymore.
Because you have one more trip, or is that what you mean? Or
Oh, I wish I only had one more trip.
Holy
wait,
smokes.
there's not that much left of the year. What do you mean?
Oh, you would think. But I will be at the Game Awards on I think this Wednesday. I guess like by the time the episode airs, already have passed and someone will have won GOTY Game of the Year. I don't know who. But I get to be there and that's very exciting. Um, And then not only that, but and then I have to fly out for work for something like that next week. And then I'm flying directly home for Christmas. And then I'm going to a wedding on the 27th of December in Houston.
Oh my gosh. So this is all
So
different states.
this is all different states. So no, it is not just one trip left. It's like four trips. I really just want to be home. I'm so tired.
Yeah, you definitely traveled more than me. I've traveled more this year than I have in past years too, but it was definitely, and I was already sick of it in the sense that I'm like, I just want to be home, but it's definitely not as I can't complain hearing that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I mean, but you've been traveling everywhere though. Like you've been really busy just like promoting the book too.
Yeah, I went to New Orleans and Texas earlier this year in like March. Where else? New York for the Barnes and Noble Book Awards. Went to North Carolina twice, one for like a family thing, and then the other for the school visits I did out there and the Lewis Carroll Society event. Then I went to Argentina, somewhere in between there. Finally, for the first time in 35 years, I went there for an entire
Yay.
month. That was like the one thing. My last freelance job last year, I saved money for a plane ticket and just put in my savings account. I'm like, I'm not touching this. And I made it a whole year not touching that, and luckily was able to afford this trip because otherwise that's why I haven't gone back in 35 years. I just didn't have the money or the time to go. But I was just like, you know what? I'm never gonna have the money or the time to go, so I just need to go now.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what it is. You have to make time if like you really want to do something. And I know it's really expensive, but it's like you put the thought behind it. You're like, I'm going to save up for this. I'm going to do this trip. And you really deserved it too because you've been working really hard.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it was so amazing. It was so good to be back. And I don't know, it felt like, I think I already told you guys, but it felt like being in a city I've never been, because even though I have been there, it's been 35 years, but it at the same time felt like home because it's like I'm hearing like my family's accent, all the food I grew up with, just like at home, and just like in every grocery store. Where here it's like you have to go to a specific Argentine grocery store to see that stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it just felt really surreal and amazing, and just like basically ping ponging between all my family members' houses. Like every 4 days, I was moving to a different person's house to go stay with them. We went on a road trip to a beach city called Mar del Plata. We stayed in the downtown for a few days. Like it was amazing and chaotic. And I got a tattoo. I got a haircut. It was amazing in every way.
But you got a tattoo? I don't know if I
Yeah,
knew this.
I showed it to you live box.
But you did, didn't you?
I did,
That's
yeah.
right. Oh, you see, if you think I have any memories from any convention ever, you're sorely mistaken.
It's all good. No,
It's
no.
like after I leave the con, like my memory has been wiped.
Yeah, yeah, no.
That's right, you did get the tattoo. Oh my God, Mia. That makes me so happy. But yeah, you really deserved it. Like just a little, like, it's like a respite
Yeah.
from all of the, I mean, you from all the hard work that you put in for the book and just like all the like things that you'd been doing after the book. So I think what a lot of people don't realize is that there's so much work that happens after a book has launched. So it's like you have to promote it everywhere. You have to do events. You have to like do signings and everything. It's like that's a lot. It
Yeah.
really is a lot of work.
Oh, totally. And it's more work. I think I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos too on marketing and this kind of stuff, and you keep hearing these experts saying most authors don't know how much goes into the way he described it was like taking like making a product go from like zero sales, and like literally everyone, even celebrities, start off at zero sales and then have to let people know it exists and actually
Mm-hmm.
go from there. Like how much work that is, especially if you're not a celeb or anything like that. It's just, and even if you do have the backing of your publisher and all that, it's still just so much work and more than
Yeah.
anyone really prepares you for. So just a lot of trial and error and just like trial by fire kind of thing, just trying everything, and as you guys know, I haven't really been on social media very much in the last few years, partially by choice, but also just because I've been working so much. And it's like I've done so much writing about my book this year that I haven't really had time to write new things. It's like
Wow.
you're writing stuff for interviews or for social media posts or for Patreon posts or um, even just like letters we sent out like to people that were getting a copy of my book, just all kinds of official things. It's just I never knew about that part of like just having to write about the thing you made. It's actually
Yeah.
really hard. It's almost easier to write the thing, even though that's hard. So
I hate writing about anything that I've made or like an artist statement or a bio. Like every single time a convention is asking for a bio, it's like a wall of awful that goes up. I'm like, I don't want to do this ever.
that's exactly what that feels like. Yeah. It's and some people are really good at it, but I really don't like doing it.
Yeah, it's like doing quarterly reviews at work or whatever, because I work, of course I work, corporate because I work at Wizards. And like when you have to do the reviews for yourself, I'm just like, I don't want to do this. I don't feel like having to talk about all the things that I did. I just want to keep working and do the things that I'm already doing. Why do I have to talk about the work that I've already done? It's
Yeah,
like every quarter and every single time, it's never fun.
exactly.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Anyway.
That's so much work though. It's like it's wild to think that you've written more this year about the book that you wrote than something new or like more creative writing. It's just been like having to gas yourself up for other people, basically.
And all I want to do is make more things, but it's just like combination of burnout and then using all my writing energy for that. It's like that's the thing I wish other people would know. It's like when you see authors that are putting out a book a year, they are doing all of that. I honestly admire it so much because I don't know
Mhm.
that I have the bandwidth for that.
It's a lot.
It's really a lot, but anyway.
Yeah. Eric, what about you? What travel you did this year? That's a crazy sentence.
That's
Why
a
would I
great
say
question.
that? Hello?
I started out in Colorado. I went to Colorado for a magic, I had mostly magic conventions this year.
Yeah.
Did Colorado, and then I went to, God, I did Florida. I was in Baltimore. Couple others. I can't remember. They're just blurs. They're just blurs of me just sitting at a table signing autographs.
For Magic
And
cards?
yeah. And oh, and I did my first MagicCon. So it was, yeah, Colorado, Vegas. Um, Me and my childhood friend went to Vegas, so we were he was my booth babe. And
That's a
he
fun
br
place to have.
Like the booth
he
babe,
brought
just
in
like, hey,
he
you want to
brought in
sign?
all of the he brought in some he brought in sales because I'm not a sports fanatic, so
Oh.
I don't know, like somebody was walking by with a random jersey on and he's like, "Hey, how about that team?" And then they come over and they start talking, and next thing you know, they're pulling out their wallet, and I'm like, "What is happening here?"
Oh, that's great.
'Cause I would have just sat there
Yeah.
and said nothing, but I'm like, "All right, well, I guess I gotta bring you along to these things more often."
That's wild. I mean, especially
Mm.
like if you're signing magic cards too, it's really good to have somebody to be the face because you have to
Yeah.
like be heads down anyway. So like oftentimes when I've only been to one MagicCon so far, but when I went to MagicCon, like I saw like the artist just like signing stuff, and then like somebody else like talking about like the work and talking about like the merchandise and things like that. So it's like if you have a good face, a good salesperson, that's a really
Yeah.
nice booth babe to have, honestly.
Yeah, and he's loud too. He's very,
Projects his voice.
energetic, and yeah, and it was good to have him there because I needed to get out of the booth and move around and see how the other artists were doing and study their booth setups and all that stuff. Um, and it was great. It was great to be able to have him just call me and be like, "Oh, there's a line here. You might want to come back to your table." I'm like, "Oh, all right, great. Thanks for telling me." Um, but yeah, no, this year was good. I got to meet, I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast or not. Maybe I did. I can't remember what I say to people. But I got to meet Thomas Blackshear when I was at MagicCon in Colorado, which was just a fantastic experience to, there are illustrators in my life that I wish I had reached out to or gotten to know, when I was younger or when they were in their prime or when they were alive,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know. Jerry Pinkney is one of those illustrators that I got to meet him once
Oh wow.
and then just thought, well, that'll never happen again. Okay, well, on with life. But I got to visit his home and hang out in his studio but this is all pre-social media. I didn't even think to like video record anything or I had a camera, but I didn't think to like interview him or ask any questions. I didn't take many pictures. I was just in the moment. Stupid in the moment.
Oh no, how dare you
Oh,
enjoy like being
How
in the present?
right. Like I should be cataloging this. I should be chronicling this for something, for a future post on social media. I think nobody would have cared other than like random people on MySpace at the time.
MySpace is
That was
crazy.
it would have been a MySpace post.
oh my
Hey
God.
guys, this is what I did over the weekend.
And it would be like
But
low res footage by today's standards anyway.
Extreme.
So I'm
It would have
glad
been
you didn't waste your
extremely.
time and just enjoyed time with him. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But getting to speak with Thomas was I was giddy.
oh man.
And that was like Christmas for me. Like my kids get all excited about Elf on the Shelf and
Oh.
Santa and all that stuff. That was Christmas Day for me, like going into this huge studio and getting slapped in the face with the smell of terps. I'm like, oh, wow. Like you still breathing that stuff in? My God.
Oh.
So yeah, no, but
I hope you have some ventilation.
right. No, but that was fantastic. MagicCon was great. And there's just a bunch of conventions, but most of my year was just spent in this room, just trying to be present and hit deadlines. So that's about it,
Yeah,
really.
you've definitely been busy.
Um, yeah. Tried every year, I still keep saying to myself, I'm gonna make time for a personal piece. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then something always happens. And I don't know, I'm just stuck in a constant loop of thinking of my own mortality. And I know that's just such a downer to hear somebody say, but I'm like, I gotta make time for my own stuff because
Yes.
if you're as an artist or as any kind of employee for anybody, you are replaceable. And I just keep thinking that, like, do something for you. And I never find the time. And now we are, another year has passed, and I'm like, did a bunch of paintings for everybody else.
Mm.
But I don't know. I always say that's my New Year's resolution. I'm going to make the time. But then I go, but uh, that pays this doing this convention or doing this painting pays the mortgage. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll do that.
Yeah.
Makes
But
it different when you got a family to support.
Yeah.
yeah, like when I see some artist post and they're like, "Hey, I'm in Prague for the weekend and I'm posting this or I'm painting that," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this guy's single." I get it. Yeah, just rub it in my face. You got nothing else to do but be at your atelier in random backwoods of Spain, painting what you want to paint. But no, uh, I think it's just time management. That's all.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of different things too. It's like, because, when you don't have the energy to think about like, going somewhere for like on a whim or like, doing all these kind of like not they're not frivolous things. Like making art for yourself is not frivolous, but it is something that does require you to step away from the work that you're actually doing. And if you're mired in illustrations, then it's not going to be as easy. So, be
Yeah.
kind to yourself, Eric. You've been doing a lot of great work this year. It's just, but I know that you do want to make time for that piece that you've been talking about.
Yeah. But then I haven't, so what do they call it? Shadow banning? Shadow banning?
Shadow banning?
Yeah, so in social media, like if you
Yeah.
don't post for
Oh
an
yeah.
extended amount of time, the algorithm's like,
Just hide you.
yeah, we forgot about you. We thought you was dead.
Hmm.
So, we just threw you in the garbage.
Rude.
Um, I've pretty much shadow banned myself by not posting
Mhm.
anything.
Not a big deal.
Um, and part of that is because of the whole AI, what do they call this? It's scraping the internet. What is it?
Yes.
Scraping the internet for imagery and all that stuff. And having my name be on that list of fantasy illustrators that was training the AI made me apprehensive about posting anything new. Even if it was for somebody else's IP and they own it, I just didn't feel comfortable. And I can't keep up with, should I be on Kara? Should I be on this one? Should I be on that one? I can't, I don't have time to focus on this is the platform I'm gonna post on. Come over here and watch me there. But um I've been trying to be more thoughtful about making the time to do the social media aspect.
Mm.
I can't stand that that's something that we have to do to
Yeah.
stay relevant. And I was telling a friend of mine, I don't want to be one of those artists that's sitting there making reels, talking to themselves in different costumes. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing fine.
I don't
Shit is so That shit is
respect to
so
them.
corny. It's so corny to me, and I just think, well, yeah, I mean, it's entertainment, but am I an illustrator or am I a content creator and entertainer? Am I just sitting here putting a big mustache on my face to pretend I'm a different person for a 30? No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. A lot of people say the content, which is that's a whole discussion in and of itself is content creation versus just being an artist. It's like because I don't make art for content. I'm not making content, I'm making art.
Yeah.
And I don't want my art to have to be content all the time. I can't remember if it was somebody on the show. I feel like maybe Tim Fielder probably said it or something like that. But like just the very act of making art, you can just have content because all you have to do is set up a camera and that's it. And just do the thing that you were going to do anyway. But even that is just having to think about how that's presenting and like how to edit it, like what part am I going to show? I just don't feel like it. I really don't. And I'm also like you, Eric, I'm jaded about social media because of how it's scraped all of our work and our livelihoods. And so I was also apprehensive about posting anything on social media because of that same thing. I kind of stopped posting on Facebook like altogether, aside from posting new episodes for the podcast or just whatever Instagram decides to put on Facebook because I just posted on both. But I haven't really like I haven't I gave up Twitter. My Twitter's like it's not gone, but I took all the art off of it. Um, the only place that I post now is Blue Sky and Instagram, and that's really it. And even then, I've made like all of two illustrations this year, which is an all-time low for me, I think. It's not great, but at the same time, I've been so busy this year that I can't even feel that guilty about it because I just know, every time I'm like, I can't believe I didn't make, I'm like, no, come on, chill out. Like, you've been traveling everywhere this year. You gotta relax. Um, but I don't feel like feeding that machine that all that readily anymore.
Well, it's funny because we're in a position now in our careers where we technically don't have to.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's funny to even think about it like that because I was listening to a discussion on another podcast recently, and the lady was saying that it's the illustrators and the artists that are busy and are doing the thing that they set out to do that don't have the time to be as um, they don't have the
Prolific.
time to post, to be as active on social media because they're busy, they're working, they're doing the thing.
Yeah.
And for an illustrator that is doing creating content that may or may not come out a year or two from now, there could be long chunks of time where I'm just making stuff that you're not going to see for 2
Yeah.
years.
Oh yeah.
So it almost feels like the concept artists and the visual development artists that are working in animation where they might post, "Hey, I got this job at Netflix Animation," or they post the logo to the studio that they're about to
Hmm.
work at, and everybody gets all happy and they get a bunch of likes, and then it's ghost town
Yeah.
for, for like 3 years. Then it's, "Hey, posts for all this concept art for Moana 2," and you're like, "Oh shit, you're on Moana 2." But then
If it
Ghost
comes
Town.
out, right?
If it
Right,
comes
right,
out.
exactly, right. If they're allowed to show it. And then it's Ghost Town until Moana 3. So you're like, okay, well, at least I know you're out there doing your thing. But um there's an app. Well, since I shadow banned myself, I keep trying to think of how to dig myself out of that hole. And my Instagram is nothing but, "Hey, are you not getting the following or the likes or the
Oh
what's
no.
the interaction and blah blah blah." And it's like all these ads trying to sell you something that'll get you attention and or explain to you how to get out of that shadow ban hole. So I've been studying that stuff. But yeah, it is what it is. The only people that I see that are always active on social media are comic book artists because
Mm.
they're either they're doing covers, and because of the nature of the work, and I don't know how much comic book covers pay, but I'm guessing not a lot because they have to be so prolific
They're
just to
fast.
make a living.
They are blindingly fast. It's ridiculous how fast they are.
Yeah. But somebody might say, "Well, I've done like 20 covers or something like that." So they're always posting
Yeah.
every couple weeks. It's, "Hey, I'm doing this new thing. I'm doing this new thing. I'm
Mhm.
doing this new thing." But that's great. Then there's the concept artists that are just posting random stuff in between uh their, in between their day job. So, but I don't have time to make random morning sketches just to feed the algorithm.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
And it's
It's
gonna
just
show. I remember I was doing that when I was waiting tables. I would like try to like, to squeeze out a drawing every few days just to have something to post. And you could tell that I was just doing it for the algorithm. It wasn't
Yeah.
coming from like a place of like, I need to make this piece.
Yeah.
So there's no point because that's not gonna dig you out of the shadow band either.
No, it's not. And I remember when I was posting every day when I was doing Inktober, well, not even Inktober, I was doing like my own like little challenge that I made for myself. The engagement wasn't that great, even though it was a part of that monthly challenge thing. It was still, I wasn't exactly doing it for the algorithm because I wanted to have those original inks to sell as well. But I was hoping that, it would keep like boosting my follower count or like my likes, and consistently they were just kind of performing generally pretty low.
Yeah.
Whereas when I post something in full color and illustration, once in a blue moon, I still get good engagement on that. I don't know why. I'm not doing anything differently than anybody else is, but it's just doing that daily post where the quality is not that great and you're just trying to just get the eyeballs on your stuff. I feel like it almost never works, even though that's what everybody tells you you're supposed to do. And so then I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do? I'm getting exhausted by posting every day. I don't want to do this. And then I just don't do it. But again, like I think all three of us at this point, we have the privilege of not really like needing to do social media because like Mia, you were already published.
Oh yeah.
Eric, what? No,
No, that does not apply to me. I need to be posting. That's why I
need to be
do.
posting.
Yeah. I'm not in that position, you guys.
Yeah.
well, no, it's not. It's I don't even want to say I don't need to. I don't want to, but I do need to. it is because we used to just be able to mass email art directors or
Steve.
sending postcards, those postcard days,
Remember that?
modern postcard, and or getting your work into one of those illustration competitions, Spectrum or illustration showcase or something like that, but that doesn't exist anymore. So
No.
it's all about, being seen. And if you're seen, then people know that for some reason or another, it just makes you feel relevant.
Yeah.
Like if you're no longer posting, it's like, okay, well, out of sight, out of mind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's a scary thing, especially when there's so many people out there that want to do this, and you constantly have to remind people that you exist.
Yeah.
And I see, huge, mega popular, award-winning illustrators still struggle with that. They have to,
Sure.
okay, I still gotta let people know I exist. Um, but it's figuring out ways, figuring out ways to translate that following into some sort of income
Yeah.
it has been the tricky part and has been interesting to me, getting people to either, building up that social media following, then having a percentage of that following join your Patreon or follow you on other
Mhm.
platforms like YouTube and then get views on that and all that stuff. But then also recognizing that the content that people gravitate toward are has to be something entertaining or
Yep.
something educational. You just can't post a painting and just say, "This is the thing I did.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
like it?
It has to like have a story with it or some kind of like follow through or something.
Gotta be
Again,
like,
it requires so much thought. And yeah, I rescind my previous statement because like I mean I think all of us like at some in some ways like it's valuable to post on social media because the eyeballs also like I want to do it for the sake of the show, to be perfectly honest. Like that's why I would want to have a big following is just to get more people to watch the show because we work so hard on it and I think there's a lot of great advice and content in here. But yeah, it's hard when the following is not that big or it's not consistent enough. And so like that's really the tricky part too. But yeah, it requires a lot of cultivation and a lot of like hard work to know how to use social media appropriately. And there's some people who are really good at it who consistently make, like art and illustrations who are working, who are the exception. Like our dear friend Devin, Devin Alka, she's amazing at social media. It's incredible what she can do. And she's also like working really hard and has consistent work. But she's just an artist who really, really knows how to use it and understands the algorithm. Whereas, like, I just don't feel like taking the time to have to understand it when it shifts every single time. Oh yeah, and Eric, I wanted to like go back to your previous point about the old school way of doing things where you send the postcards to the art directors. I mean, that was outdated when I was in school because that's how they were teaching us how to market ourselves was to have a physical big portfolio and it had the beautiful perfect binding and it was like I had like a clear hardcover. It was beautiful. And they were like, yeah, so you go to different art directors like in like New York City or whatever and like visit the buildings. I'm like that already that's like not happening anymore. That was like back in 2010, 2011. That wasn't happening. It was
yeah.
already old. And I was like, why are we being taught this? Like this
I
is not the way
remember
anymore.
I remember wanting to show my portfolio to the art director at Ace Books, one of the Penguin sci-fi imprints at the time, and my friends gave me her email, and I emailed her and said I'm gonna be in New York City next week. Could I stop by and then show you my portfolio? And she's a very kind lady, and she responded back, I don't have time for that. Just
Oh,
send me a link.
wow.
It's like, oh, okay.
Even
She
less
really did
time
that. Ain't nobody
now.
got time for that.
Exactly. I'm like,
I'm like, I'm gonna be in meetings. I don't have time for that.
Yeah, wait, what'd you say, Mia?
But they're gonna they have even less time now, you
They
know?
do. They
Like
definitely do.
especially like post-pandemic, like it's just everything has slowed down in terms of like how the turnaround and all that. So yeah, it's just it's but also just social media feels broken, doesn't it? In the sense that like with all the slop every AI slop everywhere,
Ugh.
it's just so hard to stand out, you know? It's they've gotten rid of hashtags now on Instagram when that was
It's
like
just like,
everyone's bread and butter of like figuring out the right hashtags. Now that it's like
Have they
it's just ages.
really?
Yeah, they're
yeah, they
now saying a
have.
maximum of three hashtags are allowed, but it's just not even worth it. I've seen artists that don't even use any, you know, and they have a ton of, you know, traction on their posts. So all that stuff that you've learned for years how to use and they keep changing it on you, that's exhausting too, you know, because
Yeah.
like you have to keep relearning how to use this stuff. And I
Did
know
you?
it's free and everyone's saying, "Oh, you shouldn't complain about something that's free to use," but it's like they also this is one of the things one of my good friends Tom is like always ranting to me about and I agree with him, but it's like when you have a certain amount of people that are following you and then the majority of those people don't even see your posts, like what was the
They
point,
don't.
you
They
know?
don't. And time ain't free,
Yeah,
you know? So it's like it's free, but how free is it really?
yeah.
Because they're
And again
wasting all this time trying to appeal to, an audience who's not even seeing it because the algorithm is just hiding content that's not, that it knows it's not going to get instant eyeballs.
and it's
So it's
not
like
free because they're stealing our data so we're paying for their
exactly,
data
exactly.
so
There's
they need
there's
to
a
give us
cost.
something back.
There's a cost to all of it.
Seriously.
They really are. And like, yeah, like you said, like we have to contend with AI, we have to contend with bots. It's like just there's so many things that are working against us and it makes it not as sustainable as it once was. Like even back then, I didn't really like it that much, but like it's just like I'm thinking like back in the DeviantArt days, and I loved it then because you felt like you could actually have a community of people who like you knew you could talk to. Like people would come back and like be like, "Oh, I'm so excited to see you post something else," and people would engage with things like that. Now it's so hard to get that kind of community going. It's hard to get this intimate space. Um, so like I've really been only like not only, but the main place that I go to is not really social media, but it's Discord because Discord is where I know that all my friends are already, and there's already communities that are curated so that only the people who I want to talk to are there. And obviously it's not going out into the world, it's not going out into an audience, but it fills my cup in a way that social media just hasn't done in a very long time anymore. So, uh, and I think that the other unlikely dark horse has been Reddit, because Reddit has all these little sub communities that are, like Reddit has a reputation, and some communities certainly carry that reputation with it, but other communities, like there's one called Ebony Imagination that's just like it's like black fantasy characters. And people just post beautiful art on there and like share their like, oh my God, I just finished this piece. And it's really nice. Like it's actually like such a wholesome, good community because there's rules around it. You can't post certain things and you can't be awful. And the people who are in this subreddit are already people who want to be there for this specific content. And so it's like, oh, like when you post art on there, I can just post stuff that I already have like ready to go. And if I'm in the mood, I'll just be like, hey, like here's my, Sport Crown Queen. And I'll get like a lot of like engagement on it because it's like, oh, like this is the place to post it. So that feels really good. So Reddit has been like an unexpected like um safe haven, which is a wild thing to say about any like Reddit at all. But it has been really nice actually to find like little communities because you find intersections with the kind of work that you do. So for me, it's like, like Black women, nature, mushrooms, plants, D&D. And, I posted one of my queens on there. And I was like, hey, you can, use this queen in your D&D campaign if you want to as an archfey. And literally 3 months later, someone came back to me and DM'd me because they asked me, they were like, hey, is it okay if I use this in my campaign? I'm like, yeah, sure. I said on the post, you're fine. And 3 months later, they messaged me and they're like, "Hey, I integrated the Rose Queen into my campaign and made her an archfey." And they wrote 60 pages worth of just like they made her garden, they made like attendants for her, they made creatures in the garden, they like made encounters like if you please her versus if you offend her, you have a fight with her, or like you can like there's like different roles and abilities that she. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And I was just like, that was insane. I loved everything about that. Because
Awesome.
it's like really it's like Reddit like people are very like into the thing that they're into. And so having that was really, really cool because it was something that fed somebody else's imagination and creativity. And I love that. So I was like, that's a very unique kind of community there. So I will say a little shout out to Reddit. I kind of like you. I kind of see you. And I like what you're doing. But most social media is really exhausting, and you really have to find your niche, and you have to find ways that you can be authentic to yourself. And if you can't, then I'll be like, I just had to like take a break from most of it because I just haven't had the energy, especially with the year that I've had. So it's rough. It's rough. What are we doing now that we've talked about all this? How are we like I'm really curious as to like do we want to talk about our plans for the podcast? Is there any big dreams that we haven't implemented yet? I feel like we've been talking about big dreams for like 5 years for the
I
show, but we've been so busy.
No.
um I keep I keep thinking about wanting to do some big group interview with like a bunch of artists at once or something. Like some
Oh, another panel?
yeah, like a panel event. I haven't done anything. I haven't done you guys have done live panels with other
Oh, that's right.
We did
artists. Like
one.
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
we did.
did
We finally
the
had it. Yeah,
light.
that's right. But that was one thing we forgot to mention. We went to Lightbox, me and Mia, and we did a painted in color live episode, which maybe we'll end up I do have the video on my phone.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so I do have the video. I don't know how good of a quality it is because it's a phone video, but we did do a live show with Shof Coker and Brie Henderson and Chris. Well, it was supposed to be Kristen Garland, but she wasn't able to come, sadly. We miss you, Christian. We hope you feel better. But we did a show about finding your career on the unbeaten path, and that was a really, really fun time. I loved it. One of my mentees gave me the most delicious chocolate cake I've ever had in my entire life. So that was really cool. Thanks, Allie. But yeah, it was a really great episode, great panel.
Yeah.
And it was really cool that Lightbox had us and let us do that. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, we did a live show. It was great.
Yeah, something like that would be cool to do if we could sync up at the right convention and if we knew that, people that worked on a certain animated film or something like that were all there. I
Yeah.
think that could be really cool to do. Um, we need merch. I don't know. I'm thinking getting ahead of myself. I think like we need like thousands of more thousands of more people watching or something before. I mean, we need a catchphrase, a shirt with a merch with a
A
catchphrase.
catch row.
Yeah, I'm just
Painted
thinking like
color.
fulfillment, like how would
Ooh.
fulfillment work and all that, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah.
But I
Um,
honestly for me it's like just keeping it going when we can, hopefully a little bit more often than we were able to do these past couple years would be great. I know that's hard with our schedules and the time zones and stuff, but I have a list of people I would love to ask that we should definitely get on. And that again, that's my achievable goal for the show is just to keep it going.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I would love the idea of an in-person sort of retreat for just artists of color that just like, we're all just hang out in nature and make art, that would be a freaking pipe dream, honestly. Like,
Love that so much. I've wanted that for such a long time too. Just to have a space for us to just really commune and to feel inspired by each other and each other's journeys. It's just there's something very special about artists getting together and really just creating together. Because I went to the Fantasy Art Workshop in June this year, and that was like a great venue. Like everybody just so excited to be there. And that was their last year. So I'm like, man, like now I have a void in my soul, like of this artist community, and I don't have that anymore. And I know that I have the power. It is very, very, I know it's hard and it's a lot of it's time consuming to do it, but if you can pull it off, it can become such a great space to really have people get something valuable out of it. And I think I've also always wanted that out of the show too. Like eventually one day we can have
oh.
some kind of workshop or, what's words? Gathering or something like that for painted in color.
Especially an affordable one, because usually these are so astronomically priced and it really prices
Yes.
out a lot of people that just can't afford them. So I'm like, if we could honestly partner with somebody that could fund them all, you know what I mean? Like, and people could just come for free or next to nothing, that would be my dream. But yeah,
That would
just
be
just
great.
speaking into the universe, so maybe it'll happen. But then the other thing too, I was thinking like, I don't know, not like I have all the time in the world, but I keep thinking about like live streaming every now and then, just like on a pick a day of the week, and maybe just like I have different things I focus on with my art. Like there were months where I was just doing figure drawing every morning, and I'm like, maybe I live stream that, and anyone who wants to join could do that. But like if any of us wanted to do some kind of thing like that, where we're just kind of keeping the community who wants to study together, like going, I don't know. I don't know that I have the bandwidth to do that with like long term, but I think that's what stopped me from it. But I'm always thinking like every month I'm like, I'm gonna do head drawing challenge this month or this or that or whatever, and just kind of do that with our audience.
Drawing challenges would be really nice to do. Yeah, live streaming was definitely something that I wanted to do for this one too, because I don't know, it just allows like a different kind of energy to happen. And I still want to do like something fun with the podcast, like the playing in color thing that we talked about such a long time ago. We
Yeah.
would do like, fun drawing challenges like the Pokemon challenge or like whatever,
Yeah.
like where you just like draw Pokemon from memory or like
Yeah.
not at all, just from a description.
That was a
Um
really fun game. I remember
Extremely fun and
we did
funny.
that
It's like
at
hilarious,
virtual
but
Lightbox, right? That we
yeah,
did
huh?
we did that during the virtual Lightbox.
During Virtual
So
Lightbox, we
fun.
did. It was so funny. I'm like,
Isn't
oh,
that called Canva? Canva?
yeah,
Wasn't that
on
the
not
app?
can it was Magma, I believe, for Lightbox.
Magma. Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So things like that is are things that I still want to do. Like maybe even like past guests who like come back and like you've been on the show before. Let's do something fun together. Let's
Yeah.
like do a draw off or things like that. Just have a good time and have some levity to to the show and just for the show is having fun.
Yeah.
I would love to do that one day, but like right now with the amount of travel that I've done this year and it's like all the work that I've been doing this year, it's like I know at this moment I wouldn't have the energy to do it, but next year if I decide to cut the sheer amount of things that I'm doing, then I would definitely want to put some energy towards that because I think it'd be really enjoyable.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't
It'd
know.
be cool to do I see videos um of artists sharing their workspaces or their studio tours, things like that. Um I don't know if that'd be something you guys would be interested
That
in
could be,
doing.
and
Like
we
What
could
do you
this is my fish tank. This is my
This is
cat.
this is my snake.
I need one of those like gimbal things or whatever, so you don't have like the shaky cam kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
But that would be kind of fun to like live do that because I was at first thinking we could each record our own and then edit it together. But it would be more fun to see you guys see us all reacting to each other's studios and stuff and
Yeah.
asking questions.
My studio isn't impressive, unfortunately, because I'm mainly a digital artist, so I don't have like paints and things around, so it's
It's not
not
about
good.
impressive. It's like the unique things you put in your studio. Like we're gonna be like, what is that? Like I want to know more about that. Like the art that's hanging up there. I don't know whose art that is.
Maybe it's not so terrible, I guess, but I just feel like I don't know, my studio's so underdeveloped versus so many people's like nice, like yeah, you have all this like wonderful detail and things like up, and you have an easel and your beautiful cover, and it's just like like I feel like I'm so behind on the studio game.
Wow, it's not a race. It's not,
I know.
it's just a mess of stuff on a table, really.
That looks like an or beautiful organized chaos. I just love it.
I remember the old art forum days, digital art forum days,
Ugh.
where people would post pictures of their studios, and some people would just be like a chair and a a, a piece of wood panel nailed to the wall.
That's so real. That's
Yeah.
so real. It's like, listen, whatever works, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like this is next to my stove. I just move things off the stove when it's time to fix dinner.
Exactly.
So I'm like, wow, all right. I don't
Yeah.
feel bad anymore. At least
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
not the
I guess
guy
I'm
on the
not doing
stove.
so terrible.
I used to just have this desk that I'm on was in the corner of my partner's basically office that he didn't use and it was all his bookshelves around me and I just had a little table and this here and that was it. So it's just
Yeah.
like it is a luxury to have any space, like
Yeah.
just to
It's
have space to make like you're talking about Thomas Blackshear's studio too. It's like to have big paintings in. So
He has a whole warehouse. He had a whole warehouse.
what?
So it was like, I don't know what the square footage was, but it was massive.
dang.
And it was like a bathroom. Then there was a room where off of the main studio space, there was a room where he had a bunch of his paintings just like on display. That was
Yeah.
like the presentation room.
Wow.
And then there was a he painted in like one corner of the space and the rest of it was just storage for like years worth of content. And he made maquettes for paintings that he had done, decades ago that were just all just still hanging there.
Wow.
I was like, lost my mind. And I was like, I do maquettes too. I was like trying to scroll on my phone and like, see, I do it too. I do it too.
So cute. I love that. I love Eric fanboying about Thomas Blackshear
My
Studio. So
cheeks
cute.
hurt when I came out of there. My cheeks hurt.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Eric, that's
But
precious.
but what makes me sad is he gave me his phone number. He's like, you can call me anytime. But then I think to myself, if you called him, like, what would you talk to him about? Like, if once you
Anything.
like
Anything.
once you calm down the fanboy, what would you like? Would he remember you? And like, I started thinking about that, then I talked myself out of it.
You were
No.
in
So that's
your you
where,
were in his home. I think he remembered. I would think he would remember you.
He
yeah,
personally gave you his phone number. Like it's all right. And honestly, like I do the same thing. So I totally empathize with that. We overthink like what would I say? But it's just like treating them like a person, right? Like it doesn't have to be anything big. Just chat, just chat about
yeah,
whatever. Even just about like what are you reading lately? What are you watching lately? Like and that's how we start talking and it becomes a whole hour long conversation. You just
Mm-hmm.
but you're gonna
yeah.
regret it one day if you don't do it, Eric. I'm serious. Like you should totally do it.
I
Tell him.
know. I know. I don't want it to be another Jerry Pinkney situation where it was just like a one and done kind of thing. But like, I don't know. I'm always so morbid when I come on here.
You're just keeping it real.
I
I
just
mean,
I
it's a
just
true thing
think,
to worry about, you know? It's just like
yeah,
that is legacy and there's like things that you have to do in the moment. I mean, how many people have projects that they put off for years and years and years and years because they're like, well, maybe not this time, but I have to do this before I do this project or whatever that is. Um, we consistently put things off all the time because we feel like we're not ready. We're never going to be ready to do our big magnum opus thing or what or talk to a person or like whatever that is. So I think it is an important thing to like just remember that we're not here forever and that
yeah.
eventually the thing has to be done or it won't be done at all. So
Are you
that
guys
goes with any
familiar
kind of
with the
relationships with artists.
yeah? Are you guys familiar with an illustrator named Tom Feelings?
Tom Feelings.
Yeah.
Tom Feelings. Just like I
It's a
just
great
look like
name, but
he's so
no, I have
cute.
never heard of him.
So he was so he did a graphic I want to say it's a graphic novel called The Middle Passage.
Okay.
Oh, I see it
Or
here.
about the Middle Passage. I think it was just called The Middle Passage, but
Yeah. Oh, this
it
is
was
beautiful.
an art book like like it was just
Oh yeah.
chronicling the transatlantic slave trade
Right.
and uh these graphic paintings of the slaves lined up in the boats and screaming and just like it's just a beautiful uh but it's hard to look at, but
Yeah,
it's
even seeing the images like pierced my soul. I feel like it just like it hurt, like it like unlocked it. Like it was like a very deep pain when I saw these because it's like he was drawing from like he was channeling something when he was drawing these. I think
yeah.
this is deep.
And another friend of mine, who's older illustrator, he was telling me that when Tom was working on that book, he would call up uh, this other illustrator, and they would just chat. It would be like 1 o'clock in the morning. They would just be chatting about life and whatever. Why he just needed to like shift gears. Tom needed to just shift gears in his head and just like talk to somebody because he's just painting these deeply emotional paintings.
Yeah.
Um, and uh, it's just my point is like he was doing something that was a labor of love for him, and he made the time to do it, and he knew that it was going to be like the last thing that he ever made,
Mm.
Oh
you
wow.
know. So it's heavy stuff, heavy stuff. Anyway, I don't mean to. I'm sorry, I don't mean to bring everybody down. I'm always stuck in that headspace of time. So, but anyway,
Eric,
I'm sorry.
when was the last time you frolicked, Eric?
This question.
That is true. Yeah, maybe if I frolicked more, I wouldn't it would be so Debbie Downer.
Yeah, you need to
Uh
frolic.
yeah, I don't remember. Um I saw Zootopia 2 today. I think
Oh,
that was, does
cool.
that count?
Was
Was
it
it good?
good?
It was fantastic.
Oh man, I'm so
Really? Oh, I gotta
jealous.
go see it.
I've been hearing it's
So
good. I'm so
it's
glad.
like what do they call it? A bingo card? I saw like if I did not expect a Disney cartoon to cover issues on racism, stereotypes, and
Yeah.
gentrification.
Did you not see the first one?
No, I did, but this one, like, they're
Really
like
got into
in
it?
your face.
Oh wow,
Like,
okay.
if you didn't like the first one, you're gonna hate this one because man.
Well, I heard it was about snakes. Or like a
It
snake.
the
No
it's
spoilers.
about it's yeah, it's heavy. It
Okay.
Wow.
is it's heavy. And a lot of it is gonna go over the small kids' heads. But
Yeah.
the adults are like, oh,
The
I
adults will
yeah,
understand.
I love
yeah.
that you're looking at
They'll
your snake right now.
I know, it's just like
Are you
Fritter.
okay?
Fritter. Don't let them gentrify you, Fritter.
Oh.
but it was a good it was really good. I was surprised. A friend of mine, his name's Eric Buffard, and Eric works as a map painter, set extension artist for Disney. And he when he told me they were working on it, I was like really excited. And um, I told him, I texted him today, and I told him this is one of those rare times where the sequel I feel like is better than the original.
Mm,
Wow,
Like it just picked
really?
up right where it left off and is just like, okay, buckle up.
mm.
That is
So
rare.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to see it again.
Yeah. I mean, I need to see it because I had friends who worked on that, so I want to see it and to support them and just like to support their hard work. But I haven't been out to the theaters in a while this year, so I need to see Wicked 2, or I guess like the second part of Wicked. And I need to see Zootopia.
Oh, so let's talk. Let me talk. All right. So I know
Uh-oh.
this is not all right. So my I haven't I never saw Wicked.
Okay.
I so I started watching it with my daughter last week, and we keep getting interrupted. So I haven't been able to like properly sit down and focus and watch it.
Yeah.
But like I love the designs, I love the visuals, everything is so beautiful. But is this movie supposed to get me triggered? Is it supposed to be triggering? Because goddamn, like they don't have a problem with the talking goat professor, but they got a problem with the green chick.
They
I'm
do
like,
have a problem with the goat.
That's the whole thing.
it's like it's
Well, I
just
mean, and
one microaggression after
I think
another. I'm
I think you
just
also need to keep watching it
Yeah.
because the Goat Professor that has the plot is kind of about that too.
Yeah.
So
okay.
you need to finish the movie first and then
Yeah.
report back, Eric.
So,
Because
but
I
then
think there's
I'm looking at so
you
then
might
I'm
be
on
missing something essential.
I'm gonna go back and watch it over again and like in focus. But I'm sitting there watching it with my daughter and I'm getting mad. It's like, why are they doing this? I feel so bad for what's her name?
Alpha.
Alphaba.
Alphaba. Like she needs to flip out on these people, but there's a problem expecting that.
You've
They're
got
like, there she goes.
Yeah.
Eric.
Them green women.
Eric, I am begging you to please report back when you finish watching. I'm so excited for you to finish watching the
Oh
movie.
man.
I'm like
It's
so
like
stoked.
it was
Like I'm
heavy.
like the first thing you better do when you finish that movie is message me,
Yeah,
please.
I will.
I
I
want to hear
will.
about it too.
I want to hear
But
all
then I
about
go
it.
on Facebook and then there's a picture of it's a somebody took a clip from um is it How Stella Got Her Groove Back? Is that the one with
Angela Bassett?
Angela Bassett where she burns the guy's car? Or is that no,
No.
that's not
Uh,
it.
Is
Which
that
one is that?
that's not Set It Off, is it?
No,
I don't think
that's not
it's
Set
Set
It
It
Off.
Off.
No. Which
Angela
Waiting to
Bassett.
Exhale. It's Waiting to
Waiting to
Exhale.
Exhale.
Waiting to
Wait, what?
Exhale. Not Exhale. I gotta go back. It was Waiting to Exhale, and it was the boyfriend, and he's saying,
Oh
"You
yeah.
raggedy bitch," something like that. So they put that clip to Elphaba's sister. It's like if like so in the sequel, I guess she's supposed to be like really bad or something.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know how awful a human being you got to be for somebody to call you that? And it's like, man, this I'm in store for a lot then, I guess, because they're dipping back into memes from the
From a
90s,
long,
from
a
a
long
long
time.
time ago to call this woman out. Like, wow. Anyway, yeah. So it's good.
I
Like
love
if
this rant.
I love this
I
so
need to if I
much.
need to frolic, I need to frolic and be at peace, not
Yes,
And not
not
be
be
stressed
triggered.
out. Oh
not
no.
be like not having flashbacks to like walking into, CVS or Dwayne Reed, New York City, and have people walking around following me or looking at me like I don't belong. Oh my God. The
That's so funny.
microaggressions. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's kind of the thing.
Yeah.
If it triggers you, it's yes, it was meant to.
But I'm sure there are people that sit there and watch it like, that was nice. I love the visuals. I
No, I
don't get
definitely
what
had
you're talking
tears
about.
rolling down my face by the end of the movie, so like that happened. But like you have to see it. You have to because you don't know the story. So just
Yeah.
finish the movie and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
we'll talk.
I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil anything,
I
but
don't
yeah.
want to spoil anything either, so I'm
No,
not going
yeah,
to.
I'm
Just
gonna
finish the
watch it, but that's gonna be my me time for the holidays. Just I have to finish watching it because my daughter wants to see the sequel. So we gotta
Yes.
go see it in IMAX.
Yes, you have to see it in IMAX. Oh, I haven't
And
seen the sequel yet, but I've heard you have to see it in IMAX.
yeah, we took her to see Zootopia 2. This was her first IMAX movie. And
Oh,
she stood there like looking up at the screen.
Oh,
I'm like, oh baby, this isn't even half, this is half the size of a New York City IMAX. Like this is big, but this isn't New York City big. So, but
yeah.
it was fun. That was fun.
I saw Sinners in IMAX. That was my one IMAX movie this year. It was amazing. I've seen it 3 times.
I believe we also saw Sinners in IMAX, and that was extremely worth it.
My sister actually is in the Costume Designers Guild and got me to see a screening with the cast and crew a couple weeks ago.
Let's
It was
go.
incredible. I
Oh,
mean,
that's a
I'll never be sick of that movie every time I watch it, but getting to
great
hear
movie.
the Q&A was really cool too.
Oh
Were they
man.
all there?
Yep, it was the director. It was Barry Jenkins moderating, which is even more incredible because I love his movies. So yeah, Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, Wunmi, Miles Caton, Jamie Lawson, and then Ruth Carter was there.
Oh
Hannah
my
Beachler,
God.
yeah,
The
Ruth Carter's
legend.
there. Hannah Beachler, the production designer, she was also on Black Panther and pretty much all of Ryan Coogler's movies and the casting director and then the cinematographer too. It was insane. It was so many
Wait,
people so on one
wait,
panel.
Mia, please tell me you got to actually meet Wunmi in person because,
I didn't because the docents were like, we cannot facilitate that. And I'm like, God damn
but
it.
even though she did your book, she
Yeah,
would have
they did
known,
not
she knows
care.
you.
She doesn't know me, but yeah,
But she,
they're just doing their job. But I shouldn't
oh,
have asked. I should have just but I felt like if I rushed the stage, they're gonna be like, what is wrong? What are you doing?
Mia, you should have told, I would have rushed the stage. I would have been like, Wunmi,
Also,
you were
the
my
several
client.
rows up front were like VIP seats, so we couldn't even sit up there. We had to be like further back. So anyway,
Listen,
I was happy to just see her talking and like she's right there. She's a few feet away.
yeah, viewers, sometimes in life, you have to ask forgiveness and not permission
I'm really not.
because life is too short to wait around for people to tell you yes. Sometimes you just gotta break the door down and say hello to Wunmi Masaku.
I also don't want to make the wrong impression, but that's also part of my problem. I shouldn't care too much about. But it's the thing that you're talking about, Eric, where you're like, I don't know if I should call him, and he gave me his number. It's like I feel like weird just going up to her, even though she read my book. Like she doesn't know me. She's gonna think I'm a
She
weirdo.
didn't
Yeah,
just
that's
read your book. She said your name for the world to hear. You should have walked up in there and be like, "Do you know who I am?"
Oh my
Like,
god.
I'm Mia
step
Araujo.
aside,
You read
sir.
my
I feel
book.
like, ooh. She's met so
She
many
would
people this
have
year, like
she's
on
like,
press tours and stuff. Like
yeah.
she's yeah.
You're like, Afia in the Land of Wonders. Like, you did that. You can't forget a gig like that. How'd you like the book? You just ask her questions.
You guys are so funny.
It's like it's the most out of character thing ever.
Oh my
I
God.
can just, and it's like I talk a big game, but I also completely understand about
Oh,
having
really?
someone's number and just not ever calling them. I get like even with my neighbors, I'm just like they're like you can come over anytime, and I'm like surely I can't though. That's like not a thing I can just do. It's like even that like I just don't like to impose. But yeah, no, I do understand. I like to gas everybody else up and then like not actually follow through myself.
Basically.
I'm shy.
Yeah.
So it's actually way harder. It's easier said than done. Let's just say
Yeah.
that.
Because I just feel like my neurodivergent brain, I'd call somebody up and it would just be a long, awkward silence. So,
No.
how's it going?
You would do so much better than that though, Erica. You're a
I'm
good
sure, yeah,
talker.
I would, but my inner monologue is that's how it sounds in my head. So,
Yeah, I'm trying to like remember the brave moments. Like I did have like moments where when I was like desperate, um, and like I had a goal and a vision in mind. I don't know what happened to that. I started working, and that was what happened. But when I moved here in 2022 and I got fired from my job, I was like, I have to activate every safety net. And I'm like, maybe I'll start my own game studio. And so I was like calling people who like I I had like admired for years, and I was like, "There's this is black female art director, Lizette Tripe Montgomery, who used to art direct for Psychonauts." And I was like, "Oh, I want to talk to her about her experiences and like what it was like to be an art director in that kind of environment." And like I actually got like I messaged her on LinkedIn and I was like, "Hey, I would love to talk to you. There's not many of us out here." And she was like, "Yes, absolutely." And like we got on a call and talked for like 2 hours. It was amazing. And so I was like, I guess it's possible. It's
Yeah.
definitely possible. But but I also had a goal in mind because I just like really wanted to pick her brain and like, so like I think maybe having a goal maybe just make it easier.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
don't know. What do you want to talk to Thomas Blackshear about, Eric? The fanboy just, do you want him on the show? Should we just have him on the show? That
Oh
would be
man,
cool.
it would be, I don't know if he would have the time, but I could find out.
You don't know if you don't ask.
Yeah, that's true.
And even if he says no to that, but he talks to you, that would be worth asking. So
yeah.
You're just
Because
saying.
what I find interesting about a career in illustration, and I've had people tell me this in the past, it's a finite profession. It's not like even I guess it's kind of got the same lifespan of like an actor,
Yeah.
where you're doing your roles, and at a certain point you hit father roles, grandfather roles, or old man number 12 roles. But, you know, at a certain point, then people just stop calling.
Mm,
But then what do you do? You're still alive.
yeah.
You
You
might have
still
a
have life
good
to live.
you might have a good 25, 30 plus years left to go. But nobody's like, hey, 70-year-old man, you want to do a magic card?
But why not?
yeah.
I
And
don't
age
know any
won't stop you from making
70-year-old.
some good art.
Yeah, I mean, if they are, but that's it. I don't know. It's the
Maybe what you're saying though is that it's not necessarily the age, it's also like if their work hasn't aged. You know what I mean? Like if it's
Or
if
the
kind of
work is still
right.
relevant for the
If their
era.
work is
right.
still relevant for the era that they're
That makes
in,
sense.
Yeah.
then yeah, then they're gonna still be prolific. The only illustration career that I've been able to see where age doesn't even matter is children's books.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But outside of children's books, I can't, and maybe editorial, but I don't know how many people are just living off of doing editorial.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, like
but
I have an old professor of mine who definitely does editorial still for a living, but it's more rare nowadays for sure.
right.
For sure.
Um, because they were talking about Time magazine covers. They call you on a Wednesday and they want the image by a Monday,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or turnaround time is crazy.
Yeah.
Something even shorter than that. But like, how many of those do you have in you before you just
burn out.
Seriously.
Or you're like
Uh,
made to do like you're primed to do that art and like you can get it done really fast because you just have like a lot of ideas on lock or whatever that is. It's like I don't
yeah.
know. I can't work at that kind of clip.
Yeah.
But
That's
then
that was
people,
gone in my 20s.
right. So then what do you do? So I've seen illustrators that at a certain age go into teaching. And
Mhm.
they're at a university or something like that, but then they did the wise thing back when they were in their 30s and got their master's degree so that they can be taken seriously as a art instructor.
The only master's degree in here is Lauren.
So
Taken
see,
seriously.
then you right. So then if you decide later on in life, you know what, screw all this, and or you just want to do some part-time thing, you
I
have
mean,
that option.
fun fact, SCAD was going to interview me, like, but they hit me up a week after Wizards already got me. So they were just too late. I could have been a professor now in a different
Right.
timeline.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I applied, I was just like, it was like something I was like, oh, I could like live in Atlanta and like teach at SCAD, and that would be amazing, and just like do my art on this, just like do conventions during the summer, and like I had like a whole plan, um, and then Wizards hit me up first.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was the reason why I got my master's was because I wanted to be a professor
Hmm.
eventually, so
But what I've also noticed is that there's a large percentage of illustrators throughout in the past, I guess, 50 years that once they hit the end of their run doing magazines or romance covers or whatever it was they did professionally, they go into Western art,
like Thomas Blackshear.
like Thomas Blackshear. And that it's a crazy lucrative art market. Like there, I just saw an auction. Some artists had an auction where his pieces went for over $100,000 a piece,
Oh my God.
and the bids just kept on going,
Wow. I've never had any idea.
and
That's
it
wild
was
to me.
blowing my mind. So whenever I think, well, wow, this magic card went for a lot. No, it didn't. Like,
Everything's relative.
Everything's
right.
relative. It's like,
Yep.
did it go for it? Did it like, pay off a bill that you wanted to pay off? It's like sometimes, even if it doesn't stack up to the Western art crazy market,
Right. But I
it's
mean, some the people out there that got Western art money, they've got money to cover you. If you sell one or two paintings a year, you're good.
good for the year. That would
You
be wild to me.
That's what I'm saying. So, but then do you then you
Like,
got
do
to
you
ask
want to
yourself the
paint
question,
Western art?
do you want to paint cactus and giant fluffy clouds and dudes on horseback,
That don't sound so
campfire
bad, honestly.
scenes?
Well, then you have to draw horses, and that's,
I love drawing horses. It's just that all the other stuff to me, I'm just
yeah.
like, this is not my vibe. This is not my world.
Not even close. Like, because the thing that I fantasize about the most is like when if I'm not working full time anymore, I just have so many stories that I want to tell, and I've wanted to tell for years. And I just fantasize about finally getting the time to just tell my stories. I've been slowly writing one of them. And slowly is the huge word of the day. Slowly is like an understatement, but I guess it's not slowly because it's been, 13 years and Mia, you got your book done eventually, so it worked out. But some people just like work on their stories, forever. But I just think I'm like, man, like if I don't have to like work full time anymore, like, I can like I've fantasized about being an old lady and just making my stories and making little art books and things like that. I'm like, I just want to make whatever and just put it out in the world and see what happens. Like I fantasize about that. It's like, I know some people don't have worlds just like running around in their head all the time, but I feel really lucky to have that. And I just one day want to just dedicate time to just making it happen. That's what I'd want if I was a retired illustrator. That'd be sick.
Can you imagine not having story ideas or imagery for new paintings constantly running through your head?
Some people don't though.
Yeah.
It's weird that like what is their life like?
They're probably they don't know any different, so they probably are like, yeah. You
That's
know, some people like there's a lot of people who dip into fan art or fandoms because they don't have any of their own worlds to explore, so they get involved in somebody else's world. Or, you know, like they just need an assignment to want to draw and they just need the prompt and they're like, okay, I have this client who wants this and I'm happy to do that, more than happy. But people like us who just have stories and worlds in our head, I think we always like there's always a desire to like want more than that. Like we're always going to want to tell our own stories.
You know what I like about the cosplayers, especially the black cosplayers, is the the attention to detail. Like they love making the costumes. They look at an
Yes.
anime character or some video game character and say, how can I? They're not going to just go on Amazon and get some lame spandex suit. They sit there and think about getting the foam and rubber or whatever the material is, and they start molding things and making a whole costume, and then they go out and do their thing. But it's a different kind of creativity, but they're still thinking about it.
yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
It's,
it's I mean, cosplay is an extremely creative, like craft. It really, really is like a profession. Like I don't know. I feel like it's more than a craft and like some, 'cause people who are professionals at it. Like there's a black cosplayer, Cutie Pie Sensei, who makes like everything herself, and like she has this huge following. I actually know her. She lives in Atlanta, and she's like what she does is incredible. It's really incredible. Like her Shruti cosplay for Black Panther, like she just made her own, and like people were doing like fan edits of like, oh, this is the new Shuri cosplay for the new Black Panther, and so many people believed it before the movie came out because the costume was so good. It was like the attention to detail was incredible. And like it was like that's the quality that she was able to create. And she's also an artist too. Like she'd worked in a game studio. So like it's like incredible like what these cosplayers can do. Like they get into the stitching and techniques and hand dyeing and like silks and all that. It's an entire art form. It really is. I respect the hell out of cosplayers. Like I used to cosplay, but I was never serious about it. And I just don't have time to do it anymore once I started tabling. So I really miss it, but at the same time, I'm just like, I just don't have the time.
Mhm.
yeah.
And it takes a lot of time. I just like saw somebody yesterday at the Ren Fair who like hand embroidered a jacket, like a Critical Role jacket. It was like from the character Molly Mock. And like the character like famously has all this embroidery and like patterns on the jacket. She hand embroidered everything and like hand painted the interior lining. And I was like, how long did this take you? And she was like 9 months. And I was like, oh, so it was your baby.
What?
This jacket was your baby.
Wow, that's impressive.
It was incredible.
But that's how we think about our stories and our paintings, you know? It's just
We
like other
do.
people are like, you're nuts to spend that much time on that or to think about to stress about every detail because I would just give up. And I love that it's like everybody has their own thing that they're super passionate about, that they are willing to spend ungodly hours on because they're so and no details too daunting because they want to make this thing, you know? Um,
Yeah, yeah, it's, everybody has their thing. And when people who don't think they're creative, they're like, oh, I wish I could be creative. I'm like, I feel like everybody has a form of creativity that like resides within them. It's just like figuring out which one that is.
yeah.
And so, it's like the people who are like, I'm not creative, like maybe they just haven't found the thing that really activates them. It could be a fandom, it could be cosplay or just embroidery or crochet or pottery or whatever it is. But I feel like I feel like everybody has some form
Yeah.
of like something, singing, dancing, music, like it could be anything,
Yeah.
cooking
Cooking, baking.
even.
Yeah, exactly.
Even spreadsheets. There's some spreadsheets that I've seen like this is art. Like I don't know how you did this, but this is art. This is impressive. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, but for me, and I'm sure for us, just like the worlds that are in my head, it's just like they're like so important to me. I'm like, if I didn't have anything else, I would still have my stories. Like when your vision just like does a thing for no reason. Like I had a migraine, um, like I think it was like last year, and it was an aura migraine. So I was playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I was like reading text. It was at night, and it was like a bright area in the game. And I was like reading a description about something. I just remember like the middle of my vision was blurry and I couldn't read it. And I was just like staring at it. I'm like, why can't I read? I'm like, why is there like a bright, it was like a bright fuzzy like rainbow around like the blurry spot. And I was like, okay, so I'm definitely going blind. Like, there's no other excuse. I'm definitely going blind, and I'm going to turn the game off and go to bed now. And hopefully, when I wake up, I will not be blind. And I was like looking it up on my phone, and I couldn't like read because my vision was getting blurrier and blurrier. It's like it was expanding. What was actually happening was I had an aura migraine. And like when you have an aura, you can't like see like your vision just kind of like has like an aura around it. It's really unsettling and very painful. But I was like, okay, I'm going blind. Like, and so my mind immediately is like, what's the contingency plan? I'm like, well, even if I'm blind, I still have my stories, and I can still tell my stories.
Oh my gosh.
So at least I have that if I can't do art anymore. Because my stories are so important to me. It's like I'll always have that. Like no one can take that away from me unless my mind is gone. I'm gonna knock on wood.
Make the time. Make
Make
the
the
time
time.
now.
I'm doing it. I'm having my boyfriend hold me accountable. And
Yeah.
every Monday we have a meeting with the disappointed professor. That's what we call it because he's a professor. And I you know, every time I go in I have to have 3 pages done, at least 3 pages done every Monday. So it's like little by little it's getting done. So
It's always good to have someone holding you accountable,
yeah.
but I feel like both of you are beating yourselves up about not finding the time to make it. But I just my some friends and I were talking about this too, where it's like making art that is personal to you, even if you badly want to do it, is actually really, really hard to do. And I think
Very much
that's
so.
like I think people who work, like who've only worked full time in studio or freelance or whatever, and have never made their own work, because you both have made your own work before. It's just that you're
Yes.
you're looking for the time to do it more often. So what I'm saying is people who don't really do it at all, I don't know that they understand just how much uh like vulnerability goes into making your own stuff, and that alone, like how much you second guess yourself and all of that. And sometimes again it's just like when I think about my day, sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna do all the simple tasks that take no emotion and no vulnerability, because it's like I'm just gonna knock them
Admin.
all out, check off all my all the day stuff, all the household stuff, all the things that need to get done that don't require any like real effort, right? It's just like knock out my to-do list, and then by the end of the day when I have no willpower, I'm like expecting to create something vulnerable and it's just not gonna
Yeah.
happen. So it's just
Yeah.
like I think we procrastinate doing the stuff that doesn't take all that because it's scary. It's scary to be vulnerable, even again, no matter how much you want to do it. So I just want you guys to remember that it's okay for, but at the same time, there's two sides to this coin. It is hard, but if you don't make time, you will just never do it because
Exactly, exactly. And I definitely want to make time. And the vulnerability and the fear is definitely a real thing. And I've learned that now when I feel the fear, I want to run towards it because I know that it means that there's something valuable on the other side of that fear
yeah,
that needs to be told. Like, I'm like, oh, this is something worthwhile because I feel afraid to tell it. Like,
exactly.
it's like, it's my soul that I'm bearing. And I'm like, okay, this is the right path. Now,
Yeah.
how do I push through the fear and make the thing happen? It's just, you just have to make the thing happen. And that's definitely what I've been doing in earnest. So I have like several excerpts now from my story and just like feeling it out and the moon and the tone and all that stuff. And so, one way or another, this has to get done and then more stories can get done. And, there's just so many things I want to tell. So I know it's very special, but yeah, it's true that, I do want to put more effort to making the time to actually do it.
Yeah.
Because again, like just like Tim, again, we invoke the name of Tim Fielder often, but he's just like, like it doesn't matter if it doesn't exist. Like make the thing or don't. But no one cares about the thing you didn't make yet.
But also no one cares, he said no one cares how long it took you to make it. When it's
No one
made,
cares how long
they
it
won't
took.
they won't care about that. They'll just be appreciating it. So
That's true. That's very true.
that's a good side too. And then the other thing too is like everybody always fantasizes about being able to spend full time working on their own work, but that doesn't exist either, because unless you're rich and have like no responsibilities, no kids or whatever it is, you will never be able to spend 100% of your time on your art. There will be
Of
other
course not.
things. So it's like carving that time out now is basically prepping you for that in the future, because that's going to be, again, it's like if you are a self-employed artist making a living hopefully off of your own stuff, or even if you're just trying to do that, you're doing all the tasks that come with that as well as creating the thing, so it's not
Yeah.
really full-time either. But
Yeah. Or unless you have, unless there's universal income,
Yeah, I don't know about that. Gotta move to Ireland for that, it sounds like.
Ireland, take me, please. I want this
Yeah.
so badly. Gosh.
No, but
Well,
it is hard. I don't want to. I think again, the world's kind of keeps crushing us a little further into like what it takes to survive, and it is designed to make you not want to make your thing or not be able to make your things, so you're dependent on
yeah.
the system. So, um, yeah,
Yeah, the want never goes away, but the ability definitely does, when you live in a country that's working against that very need.
yeah.
And that's the thing, that's the kind of thing that they want to crush is like if artists get more time to make their own art and to put their messages out there, then that's a much more, disruptive kind of media that's going out into the world, which, that's not a thing they want to stay in power because you
Mhm.
don't stay in power long when artists are empowered to make things. So there's a reason why things are happening. There's a reason why, we're slowly being forced to like have to like work full-time jobs and things like that because they want us to be cogs and not creatives. And we're not going to let that happen, even if they try to keep us down. But it is increasingly harder and harder and harder to do that. So yeah, it's like I think it's the reminder that it's like yeah, it's really difficult. We have to be kind to ourselves, but part of me like I want to keep going because I want to continue to make my art, and I also want to spite the people who are trying not to let me put things out there into the world. It's like, well, I have the ability and I'm going to do it, so try and stop me.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, just try it and I'll come out with messages. So I'm excited. I'm excited to tell my stories because it is happening. I'll send you some excerpts sometime, Mia.
I would love freedom, please.
I hope it's any good.
It doesn't matter. Again, at this point, if you're still in development, don't worry about good. Good is the
That's
enemy of
true.
finished, right? That's a
That's
quote somewhere.
true.
As long as you're enjoying making it, it's worth making. And if you want to make it better, you can that's just gonna take more editing. And that's just until you're done, there's always possibility to make it better. So don't worry about that. I'm just
Very
excited
true.
to read what you're excited to write. So
Yeah. Oh, Mia, you're so encouraging. Thank you.
I wish I could talk to myself like this, but like you
Yeah.
said, it's easier to talk to our friends and cheer each other up and encourage each other. But yeah,
It's so much easier to give advice than it is to follow it. That's always true. It's
that's
always very true.
that's an Alice quote. She's like, I always give such good advice, but I very seldom follow or give myself a good advice or something
Yep.
like that. Yeah, it's really cute.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, we've been talking a long time. We should probably end the episode, huh?
Yeah, probably.
We're just hanging out. I don't know. I don't know what this was. Hey chat, if you're here, thanks for being here. I don't know what this was, but I loved it. I hope y'all loved it too. Um, how do we want to end it out? I don't know. Do y'all do New Year's resolutions? So how do you feel about New Year's resolutions?
I never keep them.
I never keep them. Well, actually, that's not true. I guess sometimes I keep them, depending on how it's being phrased, like a monkey's paw. So I don't get the monkey's paw to curl. How do I keep my New Year's resolution? Like there was one year where I was like, I'm just gonna like start saying no to things more, and that worked.
Okay. Oh.
But what's your
I have a
resolution?
checklist of things that I needed to do in 2024 that I finished in 2025. So I guess I'll make another list.
Hey, yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
Hey,
Um, that's really it. I need to go to the gym. I need to move around. It's
yes.
a very sedentary job.
Well, yeah.
So, um, yeah, that's really it. Like making, I have the, I have the inner debate in my head every morning. I drop my kids off at the bus 7:30, and I have from 7:30 till 3:30 to myself to do what I need to do for work. But the minute they hit the door after school, that's it. That's it to my day until like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So I think to myself, I could go to the gym after I go to the bus stop. After I drop them off at the bus, I could go to the gym. I could exercise. I could, yeah, take care of myself. or I could get an extra hour and a half of painting time
Yeah.
just so I could hit this deadline.
Mhm.
And I always go with, man, I'm so glad I spent that extra hour and a half to paint this face or whatever. I never, I feel like I'm just keeping the lights on at Planet Fitness. I mean, like, it's my annual contribution to their electric bill.
Just
So,
paying it without going. That's
they're like,
amazing.
that's it. But I wish I could say that it's a resolution I would follow up on. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'd probably go like 3 times and then be like, all right, well, I achieved that goal.
Well,
Back to my
yeah.
deadlines.
Well, I guess the question is how to keep that sustainable because it's like the moral of the story is you have to move your body in a way that's meaningful. So
Yeah.
it's just like if the going to the gym is not sustainable for you, then what is, you know? It's like if it's the act of going to the gym to me is like the most aberrant thing that I could ever conceive of. That means I have to go somewhere alone and be perceived by people. And I know that nobody's looking at me, but I feel like people are looking at me fail at a machine, and I don't want to be there. So what do I do instead? I dance in the morning. There's music. I have a playlist. I go out in my living room and I dance like an idiot, and I'm huffing and puffing by the end of it, and that's cardio. That's great.
Love that. Yeah.
I need to be consistent about it, but that's an easy thing for me to do. And all you need is 30 minutes of cardio and you're good to go.
I saw a video online where a lady, it was a comedy thing, but a lady paid a guy to kick open her front door dressed as a masked serial killer with a chainsaw, and he just like
What?
chased her down the street. And then she got her steps in, and then
I'm gonna
it was
freaking
just
need
like,
that.
and then once she hit her destination, it said something like, same time tomorrow.
That is so funny. The lengths
You
that we
gonna
have to
move.
go.
Yeah.
Somebody coming after you with a cheese, you gonna move.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah. What about you, Mia? Do you have a resolution?
It should be moving too. I've been really bad about that. Like, I'll have like a 5 day streak and then I won't do it for months. And yeah, it's really bad. I think it's just more just keep writing my stories, keep and then keep up with everything else I have to do on the daily, you know. I am hoping to do more school visits and workshops and things like that next year and that'll help get me out of the house as well. But I tend to overthink that stuff too, where I'm just like, oh, it's like, for every one of those, you have to build a whole presentation and everything. And it's definitely a lot of work. But actually, that was my favorite part of this year. I didn't get to talk about, but I did 8 school visits and most of them out, like one in LA and then the rest were in different states, but it was just honestly my favorite part of just getting to see the kids' faces, their drawings, like when they would draw my
Oh
characters. I got so
my
many
God.
hugs. They were just so amazing. And
So cute.
I honestly didn't know that I would so badly want to help kids like figure like just not lose their love of drawing or writing. And I knew I wanted that when AI started coming back, but I just didn't.
Yeah.
I got even more fired up this year and it's just especially since they're using more AI in classrooms and stuff. I just want to get in there and show them an example of somebody doing this by hand and be like,
Yeah.
I can do it. You can freaking do it.
Definitely.
And I want to see you do it. So I keep telling them, I want to read your book someday. So I hope you're writing it or I hope you're working on that, you know?
Yes.
So
My God.
that's,
That's gonna
that's,
mean the world to any kid who like hears that from this amazing author, Mia Araujo.
all.
Amazing author illustrator. Like that's just like imagine like you saying that. Like imagine you as a kid hearing that from someone you really, really admire. It's like I want to see your book someday. It's like I would never like let go of that.
I hope that helps because again, anything I can do, like we
It
were
does.
saying, everything in this world is trying to keep us from making our stuff. And I just want them to feel encouraged and not feel like it's impossible, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm definitely in that same boat for next year. I mean, I'm doing it this year, but I am really, really, really like now, like I finally found a framework that I can actually like work with my story in because I feel like my story's been escaping me for the last 12 years. Now, like finally, I feel like I pinned it down, and I'm like, you are not running away anymore. I'm writing you. You are being written. So I am writing my story actively, and my goal for next year is to have I mean, I don't think the whole book is going to be done next year. That's not realistic. But but I think I want to like actually like start writing the book, the actual book itself Like I want to make real headway on the thing that will be the novel. Right now I have excerpts. Right now I'm just like, doing kind of like just testing things to make sure that my dialogue is good, that I know how to write action. Like so I'm doing different kinds of scenes that are like within scenes that I know are going to happen in the story. But um I actually like I want to make art for the story to visualize everything, and I'm actually going to be writing the story, so I want to do it in earnest and not drop it at any point. I want to keep like as a consistent thing every week, 3 pages, 3 pages, 3 pages, and eventually I'll have a novel.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a very
So
achievable goal. I think
it's
that's
an achievable goal. It's been happening consistently for I think 3 weeks now.
oh hell
So
yeah.
we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. But yeah, I also need to move my body. I need to keep my dance routine active in the mornings. My cats will look at me like I'm crazy, and there's no one else to witness me but them. So
That's
I'll do
perfect.
my cardio, get huffing and puffing, and touch grass every now and again. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So everybody in chat, what's your resolution? What do you want to do for yourself? Doesn't have to be a huge lofty goal. It just can be something like I just want to move my body more. I just want to make my art and stories, or want to see people who I love and care about more. It can be anything like that. Make sure it's achievable though. Like I was so tired of feeling guilty after like a New Year's resolution that I didn't fulfill over and over again. I think this one I can fulfill for sure. But yeah, if you guys are still here, again, this is such a long episode. Thank you so much for sticking with us. This is, happy 5 years of Painted in Color.
Yay.
I guess our actual 5th year anniversary won't be until like next October, but we're not gonna look at those details. Minor details. But it's been 5 years since the podcast has been live, and so that's really exciting. Everybody who's in the live chat, like it all matters, it all means something. So seriously, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to us just kind of like hang out as friends and talk about like our journey and our lives and just the cool things that we're doing. We're hoping to record more next year, like we said, and hope to give you more content and see like what we can do. But anyway, you have a good one. Have a happy holiday, have a happy new year, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
I'm
Peace.
so sad.